Hey, welcome to another episode. I'm Dr. Frankensteel, and today I'm going to be working on my truck. I've been having trouble getting it past smog, so I've had to replace the O2 sensors, cleaned out the mass airflow sensor, found a few vacuum leaks, and it's still not passing smog. So I have the intake manifold taken off my truck right now so I can get to the fuel injectors and clean them out. I already have one injector torn out. This is it. You're usually supposed to replace the O-rings when you take them out, clean them out, and put them back in, or if you're putting new ones in. AutoZone did not have O-rings on hand, and I didn't want to spend forever on this, so I'm kind of taking a gamble. But I'm going to clean these out. I'm going to use carburetor cleaner, carb cleaner. This is the straw you get with the can, and then I attached it to an air fitting. Just something I had on hand. I didn't go out to Home Depot or Harbor Freight to especially get an air fitting. I just had this, and then I just taped it on with some electrical tape. From there, I need something to connect to the fuel injector. So I went to AutoZone and got a hose. It was pretty cool. They actually just gave it to me. Fuel injector is going to go inside of the hose. Fits in there pretty snug. And then I'm going to electrical tape this to the hose because I can't get it in there. File it down and take all kinds of time, but I don't want to spend a bunch of time on something I'm just going to probably just throw away. After I'm done with this job, these are useless to me. I don't need them anymore. But this is the way I'm doing it. So this connects to the carb cleaner. This connects to the fuel injector. I'll send pressure through, and then you got to add an electrical current to open up the solenoid. I'm going to do both sides. I'm going to clear it out that way, and clear it out the other way. This is the side where the fuel goes in. This is where it sprays out. So maybe I'll spray it backwards first to clear any clogs that way, so I'm not sending it back through the injector way. I don't want to go that way. Here first, there second, and then it should be clean. So, and then when I'm clearing these, I'm going to spray into a coffee filter because I want to see what comes out of it. Let's go ahead and get into it, see what comes out. Using this method, I found out what not to do. Working on top of an uneven and questionable workspace is not a good idea, especially when it's outside and windy. Using your car battery as a power source to open the injector is fine, just know that you can't leave it hooked up. You have to tap the connections or else you will fry the injector or catch fire to the wires. I found out pretty quick that this was not the easiest way to do this. The piece that I had made would not stay connected to the carburetor cleaner, so I would have to hold it with one hand and then press the nozzle with the other. But then, how am I going to tap the contacts on the fuel injector when I have two hands already full? Then the pressure would build up inside the line until I released it with the electrical connection, but if I didn't do so, it would pop out the fuel injector. While doing this, the carburetor cleaner was actually dissolving the adhesive on the electrical tape, making everything come apart. Not to mention, I am arcing out electrical connections next to a flammable fluid. So doing this method is not a good idea. So I have to go back to the drawing board. But while I was here, I thought I'd try it again, see if I could find another way to do this, or try to find out if there is anything I can take from this method to try out in a different way. So I'm going to try something else. I'm going to go ahead and try some tire stems and some batteries. A lot lower voltage, so maybe I could just leave it on the injector itself to clean them out. Yeah, we'll see how that works. So yeah, tire stems. I just bought this from AutoZone, and just regular old batteries. I think I got these at Harbor Freight multi-pack for like $1 throwaways. So for my second attempt, I'm laying down some paper towels on top of my welding workbench. The paper towels will soak up any grease and be able to see what I'm actually working on without getting anything else contaminated or otherwise dirty. This time I'm using the tire stems. The injector will slide into one side of the tire stem. The other side has a cap to where you can drill a small hole and glue the straw into place. Now, having a nice flat clean work surface, I'm able to detail the injectors just a little bit further by taking off the O-rings, making sure that there's no damage. So the small batteries were not powerful enough to open up the injector, so I ended up using one of my Milwaukee batteries that's almost dead. So I'm hoping it's just enough power to open up the injector without overpowering and frying the injector. So this method was quick and cheaper than other methods I've seen out there, but there's still danger present. The battery I'm using still has enough power to cause an arc. If you can get an arc, you can get fire. I got really lucky with this one because I was able to finish all 6 injectors, and then I got too comfortable when disconnecting the final injector and lit up the wires to the battery. Now luckily I didn't fry the battery or catch anything else on fire. So I didn't really see anything come out of the injectors that was caught in the filter at all. So maybe these injectors are clean, or maybe the dirt was just so small you really have to look for it. But now it's just a matter of putting everything back together, making sure it's clean, and putting it back in. Now if you're planning on doing this yourself, do your research. Be careful and don't force anything into place or out of place. You could damage something or break apart, and it'll cost a lot of money for you to get a new one. So take your time if you're doing this yourself. Like you can see right here how I'm putting the retaining clips on the fuel injectors right now compared to putting them on later. It's actually easier to put the injectors on the fuel rail and then install the clip. It ensures the proper seating onto the fuel rail and into the socket. When you're putting on the O-rings, make sure they are clean. If they are the old ones, because you can't get new ones, make sure they're clean and they're not cracked or split or anything like that. They have to be perfect. If they have a split or a crack in them, you're just going to be leaking fuel all over the engine, and you'll have to take the injectors out again. Unless you like doing stuff twice and crawling all over your engine and getting dirty again, go ahead. But that concludes this video. If you got any value from this content, please hit that like button and subscribe for future content. If you're already a subscriber, I really appreciate the support for my channel. I've been trying to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark so I can go ahead and get monetized and keep making videos for everyone. And again, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.